There's only one track left in this game.
No,
We got one more asshole to beat.
Gotta admit, you work really well together.
You're not.
I mean, it
going
only
through.
took us like most of the
You know
game
how
to
you
actually
the
get to
top?
this point.
Having vision.
That's an interesting eldritch ghost sitting there. Been playing a lot of Destiny there, Kale?
Really? You've had a few hits, but
Oh shit, no, I just realized he dug up the stone like... no, Kale,
No,
stop analyzing
no.
it. No, no!
Damn it, Kale.
We haven't even built the silver guns yet. What the fuck are you doing?
I can make you a
Damn it, Kale, you've caused a time paradox.
world famous.
You know what?
Oh, you mean a sellout.
You know what?
Are we really doing the Darth Vader thing now?
We both know who's the target user of Spectra.
So naturally, like, it's no surprise that Kale is also outfitted with cybernetics. Full-on cyborg body with its own cyborg coattails.
Oh no,
And
Senator
collar.
Armstrong is pissed.
Another pawn. And this one.
Honestly, he's probably looking at Kale and being like, it's not swole enough, fucking pansy.
Be a member of the Vandalay family.
Oh no,
Ruh-roh.
the colors in his eyes. They're gone.
Point. I'm controlling you.
And now it's 808's finest hour. Fuck you, bitch.
Cat missile punch! Funnily enough, just as we said that, one of my cats jumped up onto my lap.
Cab knows what's up. They're excited to see 808.
Cat power.
Is this a joke?
No
You
way.
think I can't deal with a cat?
I recognize that intro.
And I already talked to you about what my favorite Nine Inch Nails
Oh,
song was.
fucking hell.
Yes! We gotta save our big, dumbass guitar-wielding friend.
I do not have the words.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either when I got to this point. But I did know, without a shadow of a doubt, this game was made for me.
I'm gonna say if there is a rhythm section for the drum solo, then everyone is gonna die screaming playing it.
Don't call it a comeback.
Been here for years.
Let's take this outside.
Oh yeah, because we need an appropriately dark venue to fight to, like, my favorite fucking Nine Inch Nails song, The Perfect Drug.
I remember you saying that there was going to be a second one. Was not expecting this.
Yeah.
I would have expected something like The Hand That Feeds, if only because it's more thematically appropriate.
Yeah. And I mean, as much as, like, we love, as well, like, Wish, for instance, I mean...
No way in hell
I think it
that's
would have
getting
been... Well, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's way more aggressive of a Nine Inch Nails song, but also, I don't think, like, this game would have been willing to, like, commit to having a song with the Grammy Award-winning line, Face Fuck.
Yeah. Hardline, big time, bad luck, fist fuck. Yeah, never getting in this game.
Yeah. So the fight with Kale, as I mentioned before, kind of after playing this game so much, that, like, I'm definitely of the mind that the final boss of this game is naturally the best boss of the game. It is the best opportunity for using all of your, all of your assists in battle. It incorporates, like, the whole stun meter that has been a major factor in, like, dealing with a lot of the enemies, including other bosses like Mimosa. And, parries also factors into it pretty heavily with his little flying drones, which, if you do those sequences properly, it'll, like, fill his stun gauge immediately and opens him up for a combo.
Yeah,
It's just...
It also feels like more of a team fight with the way everyone can be summoned in, like, all the time.
Yeah, even during attacks where you know that the safest option is for you is to hang back, you can still call them in anyway to try and, like, help with dealing with the stun gauge so that Chai can eventually move in. Like, yeah, as you said, it absolutely is, like another factor in making this fight feel like the best is that, like, you are getting the most mileage out of your summons. Even though I think this coming phase that we see right now is a bit of a flaw, but it doesn't invalidate the rest that happens before and after. Because for this phase, Kale is invincible, because you have to destroy his Dr. Octopus arms using the specific assists that are like best suited for dealing with them. You know,
Of course.
you got Z shielding, you got the blue electric barriers, you got like a fire breathing head. So I'm kind of left with no choice but to keep dashing in rhythm as "You Are the Perfect Drug" keeps repeating in the background. It's interesting listening to like how this song was set up like for the fight itself, and that the way they get extra mileage to kind of avoid some amount of repetition is how it made me realize after all this time that during the chorus with like the line "You are the perfect drug," that there's basically 3 separate like recordings of Trent Reznor singing it at different octaves. And sometimes you'll get some where it is just one of those 3 tracks like isolated and playing by itself.
Yeah. Like I noticed with Invaders Must Die as well, rather than sticking with the same guitar bridge, they went back and forth between 2 of them.
Yeah. Like this is very much a case where like it's not just licensed music being used in the sense where they just had the song from like one of the albums they owned and decided to rip it. It's like no, they clearly were able to like get a hold of like the masters and like kind of all the individual tracks, like layers that make up the entire song.
Yeah. And let's be honest, if they had just, gone the lazy route, no one would have noticed. It's expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like it would definitely be expected if this were being done in a game where, the entire ethos of everything is in sync to the rhythm wasn't present.
Yeah.
But this is still like, as you see, this phase does kind of take a while, more than I would like, because, you can't really attack. You don't have any opportunities really to keep a combo going, and as you might imagine, with like, especially on the highest difficulty and its particular gimmicks, when we see it, like, you would almost think that this is impossible, but somehow it still manages to be doable. It's just, I definitely wish that, especially with the Z shielding, when you summon in Macron, that it did not require you to call him in as many times just to make him vulnerable. Especially because if you get rid of the Z shielding, I believe, it, like, or maybe not, I might actually be misremembering it, because I think he would still, his other octopus arms would compensate.
Yeah, I'm glad that they took up a big chunk there.
Anyway, time for the drum solo. I do wish, personally, even if it would have been hard for people to view it, I wish that the visuals would have gone extra crazy to reflect how this part in the music video would have gone, where everything is just black and flashing neon green.
Or just, like, lots of glitching on the screen.
Yes,
like,
because this is the part in, where in the music video, the perfect drug, Trent Reznor doing his best Snape cosplay, just like, or whatever, just like it takes like a sip of absinthe. Edgar Allan Poe, yeah, just takes a sip of absinthe and shit just starts going fucking crazy.
Yeah, like they could have had, say, Kale try and hack Chai again, and just turned it into like a rhythm game with a little 8-bit Chai and 808 fighting back. As
like a fight that actually goes into
insane.
Chai's mind itself.
Yeah.
That would actually be wild. But
and
even so, yeah.
And he sees everything as like 8-bit superheroes and shit.
Yeah. It would actually be the quote-unquote 480p filter that the R&D technicians were like, our feeds have been overridden to 480p, it's unviewable.
Nerd alert.
Yeah, those dudes were fucking nerds.
Yes, they're the nerds.
But yeah, this is just way more visually intense even then. Even if it's not doing what we thought would be even cooler, just a whole lot of fire and lightning happening at once. And like, as the health goes down more and more, like the drum solo, like the part of the song that gets its absolute craziest starts to intensify and actually reach towards its end. The thing that we've definitely talked about multiple times, how it was like always the thing among 9 Inch Nails fans that the reason that 9 Inch Nails, Trent never had this song played live for the longest time was that anyone who tried to do this shit on drums live would have their arms fall off.
Literally, I think I said before, the only person that could do this regularly on tour would be someone like Danny Carey from Tool.
Yeah. Alas, obviously, we can't have the slow outro from the
I was
song
wondering
playing
about
the song.
that, yeah. Because that would be completely out of place with the rest of the game. Full stop.
I do think there is... I think there actually was a consideration that they would try to do that for a very obvious reason, but it still would have made the ending too dark for what...
Yeah.
That would have betrayed the energy this game goes for.
Because as much as I love this song, the last minute and a half is like, okay, we can kind of do without this.
I don't know. I think it's still important, but it is very much designed to be just kind of like the drop-off, almost like as if you are just crashing after a drug
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
Like, that is very much the intent. And obviously, I get that, Trent Reznor has gone on record about, like, things about the song that he's not been fond of looking back on it. Even though some of his reasoning is what makes me like it in the first place.
Yeah, he always said it was like 50%, I feel like I sold out, 50%, this was a really bad time in my life.
Yeah.
And it only reminds him of it.
Yeah, and like leaning way too hard, he felt into the drum and bass influences. Even though I think that's the part that defines it, because it still has all the other elements you expect from his songs.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of wish that he'd, gone more into it at that point, because The Fragile was a great album. Yeah,
more genre fusions in general would have been like a very interesting thing for him to explore.
That's that. I think
Damn it, Corsica! All this time. What's next? The combination on your luggage is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What the fuck?
Okay, I need to go change some passwords once we're done.
It's over. This is just a bunch of scrap metal now.
Yeah. But yeah, if it were were possibly obvious of like why like why the slow outro of The Perfect Drug was possibly considered to be used. Interestingly, oh hi Cinnamon, glad you're. He's got actual sunglasses now. It's honestly way cooler.
It's done.
Very CSI Miami.
Yeah. But no, the streamer mode replacement for this song, they actually recreated it all the way down to the slow outro. So you can listen to it in full, and it is there despite not playing in the battle. But the other reason I think why it was possibly considered is to reflect the potential, like, sorrow that would be going through Peppermint's mind, realizing that this is the only way that she's going to be able to stop this mess is killing a member of her family.
Well, yeah, with this, I mean, we haven't seen anyone actually die. We haven't heard the word kill or murder or anything. So, you
even though they're dead,
you can easily rationalize it in your head as, well, you've just beaten them into a coma, quote unquote. But everyone's fine and dandy afterwards. Whereas, adding that in, as I said, it feels like it goes against the very over-the-top Saturday morning cartoon feel the rest of the game has had.
Absolutely. Like, in another game with a different aesthetic and whatnot, that would absolutely fit. Which is to say, we need a Trent Reznor character action game.
100%.
Now, you might be wondering, what do I mean by that? Do you mean Trent Reznor is the playable character? Or is it just an excuse to have a bunch of licensed songs by Trent Reznor? Or an original score with him? Yes. The answer is yes. Just no qualifiers. Yes. All of it.
Trent, buddy, if you're out there, give us a call. We've got ideas.
Yes. I know you've been wanting to do this. I know you've been wanting the right opportunity to come along, that you and your buddy Atticus Ross could make an original score for a video game. Do it, buddy.
You did it with Quake. You know, you got a taste of the good stuff. We're just saying,
just gotta make sure that you don't end up working with someone that you'll eventually have it devolve into a fucking TBT Records feud because they are an unsufferable asshole.
No way.
Are you interested?
I'll never not be amused by like the music video for Give Up, where like just shows like the zooms in on one of the computer monitors of like the different tracks that are playing as they're performing at the Tate House, and one of them is the file is named "Fuck You, Steve." Like, yeah, no subtlety, to Trent's hatred towards someone that gets under his skin when it matters. He will make sure the world fucking knows. I really do have a bigger respect for Broken these days compared to when I first listened to it in high school.
But Broken and the Fragile, like, absolutely despised when they came out, and now people are like, well, hang on, maybe there's something here after all.
Yeah, I think Broken's definitely stuck with me a bit more now compared to Fragile. I think mostly just because Fragile, like, when I think of it, a lot of it is just instrumental tracks that stand out, plus wearing this together now because that is the most single-worthy, like, piece of material that he had to turn into a music video. I
mean, like, the Downward Spiral is one of my favorite albums of all time. Like, there is no two ways about it. And I think going into the Fragile, everyone kind of expected more of the same. And it's like, he'd never done that before in his life. What makes you think he's going to start now?
Not unlike how TVT Records was wanting him to just do another version of Pretty Hate Machine.
Exactly.
Funny how that turns out.
Also, I am shocked that I think Johan Johannes is probably the only other person in the world that remembers fucking Zwan.
Yeah. I think there were interviews as well that, like, mentioned that, like, when he was working on this song a lot, like, he basically had this on loop as he was working. So now this song by Zwan honestly, like, has, like, a very intimate correlation with the game itself for him as someone that was, like, pivotal to the creation of it.
Yeah, I mean, fair, you know, like, let's be honest, Zwan is just, like, to most people, it is the most, oh yeah, that happened band imaginable, you know?
Yeah. I mean, to the point where I didn't even know it existed, really, when it was a thing.
Oh, no, I remember because this was, like, their first single. I think probably their only single.
Would make sense.
And it was, the video is the cheesiest everybody's friends kind of thing. And it's like, if you know Billy Corgan, anything about him, you know he is not friends with anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And even he said that, yeah, it was like trying to put a smiley face on a gaping wound, because, say it with me now, he didn't get along with any of his bandmates.
Yeah. And yet, this ending sequence clearly makes the song work better than it ever did in its original context.
Well, yeah, once it's liberated from, you know, Billy Corgan in general, let's be honest, then, not that bad.
Yeah. And it's also important to note, this animated credit sequence, it's not the only credit sequence. There is a more traditional credits scroll that happens after this. But as I mentioned all the way back in track 5, I'm not fucking showing that because that is going to inflate the shit out of this video length. And it's already crediting so many people from a bunch of tertiary fucking ZeniMax locations and roles that have nothing to do with game development. It's like, because it's... Fuck it, like, it is not, at that point, it is less credits, it is more just the company directory.
Copy, paste, jobs are good.
Yeah, just cover our asses so no one can bite us in the ass over, like, hey, I was here, why didn't you work on, why didn't you list me in the credits?
Spectra signals. They're appearing
And
all
don't
over
think
the
I didn't
railway
notice
orbit.
that Vandalay logo on your shirt there, Chai.
Some sort of backup plan?
Yep,
It's Kale.
little pin. He's got it now, he's an ambassador.
If only we had someone up to the task of checking those hotspots out.
Oh yeah, those doors.
Huh.
I was implying you.
Yep,
You up for another round?
we
See what's
finished the
going
main
on here?
playthrough.
Doesn't look like I have
But
much
this
of a
game's
choice.
got plans for what comes after it, and oh boy, the post game, it definitely throws a lot at you at this point to make sure that you have incentive to keep playing. It finds its own defining way to get you to keep playing that isn't the traditional Devil May Cry platinum way of the ever increasing difficulties with, like, enemy remixes, which the enemy remixes I still wish could have been a thing, but whatever. There's always a chance with the sequel.
Yeah, I wasn't
Also,
gonna say
that is a notice for an update that was added to the game a few months after release, but we are not going to look at the arcade challenge for a long time. So BPM Rush, Power Up, Tower Up, don't think about those right now. That's for another time. That's
about
for
it,
something
don't think about
fucking
it.
amazing. yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say for being the MacGuffin at the heart of everything, Spectra kind of fizzled out without much fanfare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those doors are related to Spectra anyway, so like you think there's still just a bit more to it. like this is all about loose ends. But we'll definitely get to it next time. There's a lot to cover with the post game, even before getting to those doors in particular. So look forward to that, everyone.
It's not over yet, Snake.